LWL head here. I'm about to show you guys about alignment. What alignment is. This is our alignment right here at the shop, at the Hyundai shop, Hunter alignment rack. And I'm going to show you guys how to do an alignment on this rack with a car. It's pretty much the same with every other car. So an alignment is basically making sure all the wheels on the car is straight, and the steering wheel is straight when you do the adjustments. So you need to do an alignment when you get in an accident, either a front end accident or a rear end accident, because there is two different kind of alignments, which is the four wheel alignment, which is all the wheels, all the suspension parts around underneath the wheel, gets adjusted. So that's a four wheel alignment. And then the other one is a two wheel alignment, which is just the front two wheels, the suspension part that connects to the wheel underneath the two front wheels gets adjusted. And that's the two type of alignments: four wheel alignments and front wheel two wheel alignment. So we recommend alignment here at the dealership, at the Hyundai dealership where I work at. Every 15,000 miles you need to do alignment. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't, but basically once we sell that service to you, you get charged for it either way, whether it needs it or it don't. But most of the time it do need it, so we do the service, because we don't just put your car on the alignment rack, it's right here, and then take it back off, and then the computer let us know whether it needs it or not, and then take it back off and tell you that we're not going to charge. You will still get charged, but most of the time you do need it. And even if it's a little adjustment, we do the adjustment, and then we print out a paper for you, that goes along with your repair order, that shows you the adjustments that we made. So so make sure you guys do the service for your alignments, because it's really important. This is the alignment plate. Two front of the tires have to get on these plates.
Are you saying?
Yeah, he has to come on this plate right here. Stay the tires on this plate. Alright. That's it.
What's this, your next YouTube video?
Yeah. I'm gonna YouTube video about this song. What? Alright guys. This is my buddy's Honda Accord right here. Honda Accord stick shift right here. So I'm gonna use this car as an example to show you guys the adjustments that I'm gonna do to the suspension parts. So yeah, like I was saying, when you need alignment, it's when you get in accidents. Also, you need alignments when you change parts on your wheel, like for example the inner tie rod or the outer tie rod, important suspension parts like those. When you change those, you got to do an alignment. Your control arm too, you got to do an alignment when you change that. It's just better that way, to make sure your car is on the road straight, driving straight in a straight line, so your tires don't wear out unevenly. It has a lot to do with your tires wearing out too, because your tires can wear out a lot quicker if your alignment is off. And your alignment adjustments, they actually changes over time. That's what we do recommend it at every 15K, because it does change over time when you're driving your car, because obviously the roads are rough and there's a lot of ditches or bumps, so those suspension parts move around, they bounce up and down, sway and stuff, so they do move around. Alright guys, I'm going to take this car up and set the alignment rack up with this car. Once you do bring the car in on the rack, it has to be on this plate right here, and it has to be like in the middle of the plate, sort of like in the middle. It don't have to be exactly, but it has to be kind of like this on both sides or both ends. And then what I'm gonna do is lift this car up. Has this handle right here for the lift. Lift it up, set it up. Kick these legs down. This is an old style alignment rack, so it's a little, but it's still Hunter alignment rack, but it's just a little, that the rack itself is old. The computers are fairly, you know, new technology. Just the rack. I'm just gonna kick these foot down. Do the same on the other side. Some cars you don't need to do a full wheel alignment on because the car doesn't allow you to. It has like, it doesn't have adjustment for the rear alignment, you know, for the back of the car adjustments. Sometimes it doesn't, but most cars have the front end alignment adjustments that you can do on the tie rods. The front end alignment adjustment is the tie rod, basically. The inner tie rod is what you adjust. So I make sure all these legs are down, and the rack is gonna come down evenly. On the flat, it's gonna come down flat, so the car can be sitting there on flat. All right, so like that, everything, the car is leveled on the flat surface like this, and then I'm gonna take these right here. I'll take these and then put them on there. These are the sensors for the wheels, and basically I just put them on here. So they gotta be like in the middle of the hubcap. This right here has to be like in the middle of the hubcap. So you gotta put it in the way that it is, like in the hubcap, and then that goes over there, this goes over there, and then this kind of restrains it in right there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the other wheels, pretty much the same. Just set them up in a way that it's perfectly straight on the wheel. You know, it has to be straight, so that way the sensor can pick it up, sensor up there, and that's how the computer knows, you know, your wheel's position and the adjustments that you do, you know, on the screen with the numbers and stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera so you guys can see what's next. Alright guys, so once we get on the computer here, this is a computer screen. We gotta put in the VIN, we gotta put in the make and the model of the car, the technician name, the mileage on the car and stuff like that. I'm just gonna put like a, you know, I'm gonna make up something to fill these in. They don't have to be accurate, but usually, you know, we have a repair order. The computer's telling me that it found the name, last name with Williams, but I'm just gonna ignore that and go on to the VIN. Now we have this little scanner right here that we scan the barcode on the door of the car. So then the VIN goes on the computer automatically. Every car has a barcode right here. Alright, so once I fill out this whole screen, I'm not going to really show you guys because there's some, you know, sensitive information on there. But once I fill out this whole screen, pretty much just hit OK right there. And it's going to ask to see if a reset requires electronic stability control. No, we don't need to reset that. Most of the time you don't. You don't need to use a scan tool. TPMS calibration, you really don't need that. You just keep saying okay. Mount the sensors. We mount all the sensors around the car right there. And now we gotta do the rolling compensation. So you gotta put the car in the neutral. You gotta put it in neutral, and if the emergency brake is on, we gotta take it off. Take off the emergency brake. The car has to be on the on position right here. So I'm gonna put it on. Alright.
Please depress the brake pedal to release the parking brake.
Release the parking brake. It's in neutral. And now I can do the rolling compensation. Should turn the headlights off. It's not necessary, but it should, because you can't turn these off. But I gotta do the rolling compensation basically. Right there, follow the instructions. And right here, I gotta take these chalk off. And then just look at the screen. Alright guys, so the rolling compensation is pretty much me just moving the car in the grain. Like right here, I'm just moving it. And then once it gets in the grain, it's gonna confirm it just like that. And all I gotta do is push it back forward. Push it back forward into the grain. And then I gotta put the chuck back on there. Yeah. Like this. Like that, and the instructions gonna tell you, to block the wheels, lower the turn plate bridge, which is this bridge, the rack bridge, and then remove the pins from the slip plates. So these are the pins we gotta take off from the slip plates, because when you do the adjustments, the pins gotta be off, so the computer can know that you're doing the adjustments. And now once you do that, you hit ready. And now you get to see all the angles that you have to do. You have camber, caster, toe. So let me see if I can illustrate to you guys what it is. So yeah, so if we did camber, it would be from the struts right here. We have to adjust the struts, but we usually don't do that. So, and when most of the time there's no adjustments on regular cars. You can buy aftermarket struts that come with these camber adjustments, but we don't do that. And that's basically moving the struts back and forth. The struts, and moves the whole tire back and forth. That's basically what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. And then the next one would be caster. So caster, this is like the wheel right here. Caster would be moving the wheel like this, inward, the whole wheel inside and the whole wheel outside. So that would be caster. Let me see if I can illustrate adjustment. See if I can illustrate adjustment for you guys. Specify a front caster adjustment. Okay, so with this car, there's no front caster adjustment on this car. So it would tell you whether the adjustment is available, whether you can do the adjustment or not. So we cannot do the adjustment. Now the toe is definitely off. Okay, so the toe is like in and out. So this is the wheel, just like how it is. And when you do the adjustment, the tie rods, you move you toe it in or you toe it out like that. So we're gonna see if we can illustrate adjustment right here, and it tells you like where you need to do the adjustment, like where it needs to be done, just in case. But that's pretty much how it is. We toe out, toe in. That's what it means to toe, guys. So I'm gonna see if this car has a rear adjustment. It has rear adjustment points that I can do the adjustment on, and yeah, I will try to do it. Alright, so right here it does actually. Where that mark is, that white mark right here. See if I can show you guys better. So as you guys can see right here, this bolt, like these bolts here that are like kind of flat, and you see like it's not like a regular bolt. It has like a flat washer on there with like marks on the washer. I don't know if you guys can, yeah, like right there, it has a mark on the washer. That's how you would know that that's an adjustment bolt. Not all the bolts are adjustment, so you gotta know which ones are adjustment by looking for that. Like that one is, so you can make an adjustment there. And I'm gonna see if I can find another one that you can make an adjustment on. I think this one too. There's one on each side of the exhaust. So one right there and one right there. You can do an adjustment on that. I think you can want to do toe adjustment on this one, rear toe adjustment. So I think you can want to do. I don't see camber adjustment on this. Some cars you can do camber adjustment in the rear. Like it will have an adjustment on this part of the suspension right here, on this suspension part. Control arm, rear control arm right here. But it doesn't have it like this. The bolts don't have the same type of bolt that these have right there, so I cannot do that. But I can do the toe, so I'm gonna try to do the toe on that, and I'm gonna do his front end, which is the tie rod, as I already said. And right here tells you, like, you can look up the tools that you need. Like it will tell you right here the tools you need, like a ratchet, and you have 17mm socket and a 14mm wrench to do the adjustments on here. On the rear end, I think it's the same for the front as well. Let me see if I can look up the tool. Okay, so for the front end, you need not only a 14mm, but you need a 19mm wrench and a 24 wrench. You need 19, 24, and pliers. You really don't need pliers because I think you can use the 14mm wrench to move the tire, the inner tie rod. Sometimes if it's already stripped, if the part on the right here, see if I can show you guys. These are the inner and the outer tie rod. Right here, this is the inner tie rod right there. This one, this part, this is the outer, that's the inner. If you can't move this with a wrench, you can use like a plier to grab it better and be able to move it. But that's what you move right there. That's what you move to do the adjustment, the inner tie rod. That's what you move. Same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and go get those tools and then get the alignment going. So a good practice to spray WD-40 or PP Blaster on the inner and outer tie rod, like the areas I was showing you guys. It's a good practice to just spray them so you can be able to loosen them up. It's actually back here, so I'm gonna go ahead and spray them so it'll be easier for me to loosen it. You know, that way I won't catch a hard time, but that's pretty much what it is. Before we do any adjustment, we gotta measure the caster with the wheel. So like it says, we gotta install the brake pedal and steering wheel that's directly, and then measure the caster. Sorry guys, so when I was doing that, so basically I came here and moved the wheel back and forth like it said on the screen to sweep it, make sure the wheel is straight. I put this tool right here to keep the wheel straight, and now the screen, I changed the screen, and maybe you guys can see it right there. And I just got there's a line right there, and it helps me out even better, straighten the wheel. So yeah, that's how you would make sure the wheel is straight before you do the adjustments on the alignment. Right here on the screen, looks like the steering wheel is straight enough, as straight as I can get it. The computer kind of like moving back and forth, but it's pretty straight. And I just hit ready, and now adjust rear toe. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the rear toe. And there's another equipment right here near the machine. Let's pick that up, turn it on, and you look at this. You go to the back, your tools. Go to the back with your tools and do the adjustment. I'm trying to make this video not that long so that way you guys can see what I'm doing, but it's probably is gonna be. And also there's another thing that you gotta know. Come back to the screen. Since you're adjusting the toe, you want to go to illustrate adjustment. It tells you where you need to adjust, and you want to hit show specification, the tire specification. So it's positive 8 degrees for the rear toe. So I'm going to keep that in mind, the same on both sides. So we're going to take that, come over here and yep, adjust it by looking at this, because we can't look at the screen from all the way back there, so we gotta take this extra tool with us. And I guess it's a 17 millimeter to loosen up these adjustment nuts right here. 17 millimeter. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Well, you gotta loosen up the nut. It's kind of hard to see, guys, because right now it's dark and I'm trying to make this video for you guys. But basically, we're gonna loosen up this nut right here and then adjust this bolt on this side with the 19 millimeter wrench. I think 19 or 14, one of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that up real quick. Put this down. So that's loosened up. You heard that? Also, guys, this plate right here with this tire is on, the plate pins has to come out, because every time you do an adjustment, these pins has to come out. So this has to come out. Same thing on the other side, has to come out, or your adjustment is not gonna be correct. It's not gonna register on the screen on the computer. So those gotta come out. So now that I've loosened up this, you want to loosen it up a little bit. Same thing on this one. We're gonna loosen it up a little bit. And this is doing an adjustment or alignment is best on cars with low mileage, because that way everything, you know, all the parts are still fairly new, so you can like crack the nuts loose, you know, cracks loose. Because if you did on a high mileage car, it will be almost impossible to crack these nuts loose, and you might end up damaging the bolt that goes through here. So then you might end up replacing this whole part, this whole suspension part, in order just to do your rear alignment, and that costs a lot of money. So sometimes mechanics will tell you like they're not able to do like a front end alignment because they can't loosen up your tie rod, or they're not able to do your rear alignment because they cannot loosen up your bolts. Sometimes you can heat torch, you can use torch in order to loosen it up, but that takes a long process, because you gotta heat the metal up and wait for it, you know, to cool down, and sometimes that might not work. You need to have a hot enough torch, or like a powerful torch that's able to heat some of these bolts or the front tie rods up hot enough in order for you to loosen up those nuts to do the adjustment. So this is the screen right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it has numbers on here that see those numbers, guys? Yeah, see those numbers, guys? They're gonna change as I'm doing the adjustment on this. So try to move this nut. So yeah, so as you can see, if I can do the adjustment. It's kind of hard to film this and show you guys, but that's pretty much the whole method, you know, the strategy. Alright guys, so I had to bring another ratchet with a 14 millimeter socket in order to do the adjustment on this bolt right here. Well, this is for the toe, so I gotta click that so you can change the toe. Alright, right there. So this side is good, so I don't need to move that. I'm gonna come on this other side and try to see if I can move this right here. Alright. Oh shit. Alright, I gotta loosen up this bolt a little bit. Loosen up this so I can do the adjustment for here. Alright, that's kind of, but as you guys can see, the numbers changed as I'm moving it. The numbers changed. You see the number is going down. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you guys can't really see it, but the number goes down. I'm gonna bring it all the way down to 8, to the 8. That's it. It's going down to 5. 5 is too much, so I'm moving this nut right here in order to change that number right there. So I'm gonna move it a little more. So yeah, right there, guys. So right there, they're both 8. So that's 8 and that's 8. So now I'm gonna just tighten it up. I'll tighten up this nut in the back right here, and that's how we do the rear adjustment, rear alignment. I'm gonna tighten this up. Same thing with four-wheel drive alignment. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same concept. So what I'm gonna do is tighten this up. It tightens up the whole adjustment, and numbers right there is 8. Both of them are 8. So I'll leave it just like that. Alright, 8. Tighten this up too. Tighten this side up. I'm just changing it from camber to toe, the rear camber, rear toe, guys. So I'm tightening this up right here, so you can see. All right, and that's tight enough, guys. So that's it, guys. So this is good. So his rear alignment is done. We're done with that. So I'm gonna go to the screen, and I'm gonna show you guys on the screen what it is that I did. Alright guys, we come back to the screen. As you can see, his wheel is aligned. His adjustments are within specifications. As you can see right there. So his tires, when he's driving, it's gonna drive straight. It's gonna roll straight along with the body of the car. So it's aligned perfectly. So now I'm gonna do the front end alignment, which is just the toe. Front end alignment, we mostly just do the toe. We don't mess with the caster or the camber. I already explained to you what those are. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So right here, as you can see, that's the toe. It shows you what it is, and I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this all the way to the green where this black mark is. I'm gonna adjust it there. And same thing here. It's the same thing on the screen. It's the same thing on this little tool right here, and I just take that tool with me and do the adjustment. I believe this was 24 wrench, 24 millimeter wrench, and then the 14 millimeter wrench to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead, guys, and crack this loose, tie rod loose right there. I don't know if I can shine a light for you guys. I'm gonna try to shine a light for you guys, because right there, I'm trying to shine a light in there. So right here, so this is what I'm gonna loosen up, and
You got the lights and all on this side?
yeah, I got you. Gotta loosen up this nut right here and do his alignment, basically. So, as you can see, that wrench is on there. Alright, so gotta loosen that up. So it's gonna go towards the back, so I'm trying to loosen up by going toward the back. So that's the locking nut that I'm on right there. That's that nut that has to be loosened in order for me to do the inner tie rod adjustment on this. so I have to loosen up this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. Alright guys, so I loosened it up like I said I would. So it goes towards in the back. So I loosened it up, and I'm gonna go ahead and take my wrench, 14mm wrench, and do this adjustment right here. So when I move this, that number right there on this, it's gonna move as well. So see if I can show you guys. When I move the inner tie rod, just like the back, the number is gonna move, and all I gotta do is put it in the middle. So alright, I'm moving it in the positive, so I'm gonna move it down in the negative. Alright guys, move it in the negative like this. You guys see that? It's going down. So it went down to 10. I'm just loosening up this lock nut or the jam nut a little more, so I can be able to move the inner tie rod and do the adjustment. So basically I'm on this right here, and I'm just moving it, and the number moves when I move it. So you can see it's moving. Gotta get in the green. Alright, right there guys. Right there, it's in the green. As you can see, it's in the green. Alright, and now I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up this nut right here. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up. And then that should be it guys. And this is tightened up. That should be it. I'm ready to put it on there. Tighten this up like that. Yep. Alright. That's it. So it's tightened up, and the measurement's right there, +2, but it's still in the green. It don't have to be exactly 0, as long as it's somewhere in the green. Like right here, it don't have to be exactly 0. As long as somewhere in the green, it's perfect. So right there, that's fine. We're gonna keep that there. And now we're gonna move on to the other side, guys. We're gonna move on to this side. And it's the same concept. So to move on to that side, I'm just gonna press just a button here I can press. And actually that was the wrong button. So we're gonna come back on this side. So I'm gonna press K4 instead. I pressed K3. It's actually K4. Alright, and we come back on this side. Alright, so I'm on the other side. I'm gonna do the other side now. It's the same idea, same method. We just gotta loosen up this tie rod. Yeah, that's loose. So once that's loose, same thing I was doing. You guys can't really see, but see if I can use my flashlight. Can't use my flashlight. It's the same idea, guys. So I'm gonna do the adjustment, and then that should be it. Alright guys, I'm pretty much done. This one is close to 0. So that's it. We're done here. Just gotta print this out. Alright, as you can see, it's in the grain. So the whole point is to make sure when you're adjusting it, the numbers are in the grain. And once that's done, then we hit ready. Alright. And you want to look at all the numbers here. There's the full aspect, the full screen of it. So you look at all the numbers, it's good. So we're going to print it out. You hit print. And when you hit print, you want to hit current and before. Right here, we're going to hit the current and before and current actually. So we're going to hit that. And this is how it was. So before, his rear alignments were off, guys. So I fixed that, so now it's in the green. So this is how you do the alignment, guys, the front and the rear alignment. Yeah, it was hard for me to show you guys, but that's pretty much the gist of it, the quick version of it. But once you if you want to get in this field, once you start learning about this stuff, you know how to really do it, and it's not that hard. But for you guys who come to the dealership or anywhere else that does alignment to get your service done, that's what it means to do your service. That's what the technicians do. I thought I'd let you guys see what it is, so you don't have any doubts about it, or so you don't know where your money is going. But I would definitely recommend you to take it to the shop and get it done properly. The do-it-yourself, there's other ways you can do alignment, do-it-yourself way, a quick alignment way at your house with strings. I don't recommend anybody do that because it's not perfect, it's not exact. You're not going to really get to see what you see on the computer, how your wheels are, if your numbers are correct, you're not really going to get to see that. So I definitely recommend getting your alignment done every 15K. I think it costs about maybe $100 or $150. I'm not sure. So definitely recommend doing alignment, guys. LW out ahead here, and I'm out. Till next time, peace out, guys. Keep watching and subscribing. Help me, make more videos for you guys like this. So thank you. Till next time.